Hello and good morning to you all. Thank you for coming back to join me today. I'm continuing with my tab bound booklets that I'm making. I'm doing two and they will be similar but slightly different. I've tried working, well, I'm trying to work on both of them at the same time, and I've been thinking about what I want to do, and I just thought that I'd bring you along with me, and let's see how we're doing. I'm trying to keep them in order, but I'm not succeeding very well. So this is one, and I think you were with me last time, and we put this pocket on the front. So I've put some journal cards in, and then it's got one at the back as well. And I'm using papers from Artymaze, and I think these are her vintage Christmas ones, and then it's the Christmas medley on. These are from the Christmas medley. So I'm using a range of papers that I had from her. There's a little pocket just there, and that lovely little snow person there. And then this one, very similar. It's got the lady in there. Comes out as a tag. Open it up. It's got one at the back. Sorry, I've got really itchy eyes today. One at the back just there. Yep, in there. It's got the lovely little person there. I'm going to say a little boy, could be a little girl, who knows, and that there. So that's where that one's at. On the back of this one, I've put a corner pocket, and that lifts up so that you can journal on it or not. And then I've put a little Tim Holtz ephemera piece just there, and some of Andrea's little tickets that I had left over in there. So I'm going to make a card at some point to go in the back of that. So that's part one of that one complete. Then this one, I've decorated the front, and I've got the pocket to go on there, and that says believe. So that needs to go on there. I thought I'd glued it on, but obviously I haven't. So I'll glue that on there. Hopefully I've not got my slow glue. No, I've got the reasonably fast glue today. I will get round to getting some more fine tip bottles at some point. And then that, I'm just going to open that so it just lays a bit flatter for me. That's going on there. It's a bit difficult to glue things on when you've got something chunky stuck on the front. That will glue. I always go around and check that they've glued on anyway. So I'll leave that to glue on there. I might add a bit more later on. And then the next page, let's move them out the way. Let's make a little bit of room. So that's page one. Then the next page, I wanted to put a little glassine bag on. So I thought that would be nice on there. The thing that I need to remember is that there are going to be tabs down the left hand side of these. So I need to leave space to add the tabs. So the right hand sides are going to be okay. The left hand sides, you can put tabs over things, but obviously that if you're going to put a pocket or something on, that makes it a bit difficult, doesn't it? So I wanted to put a pocket on there, but I want to extend it and put another pocket on the bottom. And so what I was thinking was, I've got this offcut laying around, and I thought that I might be able to make that into a pocket. Maybe a bit closer to that little bird. I don't even know if that's straight or not. And then the way that I wanted to do it was wrap it round this pocket. So I want to get up most of the bird in if I can. So I'm going to do it this way for now, and then you might, hopefully we can see what I'm doing in a minute. In a little minute. If that was to fold over there, and that was to fold over there. These will actually fold to the back. I'm just kind of trying to give myself a marker as to where I want it to be, because it's going to sit over that pocket. Let's just cut these extra bits off. Does anyone see my scissors? Oh, they're here hiding. Thought they'd gone walkabout. So let's just trim that off a little bit. And obviously I wouldn't need that much on the back. It's finding a way to... What am I doing? Yeah, that way. And then that one would come off as well. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing really, folks. It's a really, really dull day here in the UK, and it's raining and it's miserable. It really, really is. I think winter is definitely here. I don't mind the crisp frost mornings, they're quite nice, but when it's dull and raining, oof, I don't like that at all. So I thought that could go on there as a pocket, like that. So I'd have a pocket there, and I'd have a pocket here, is what I thought. And make it a little bit of a longer pocket. That's going to be too long, I think. Oh no, that would be just about right, wouldn't it? So that would be a pocket, and then this would be a pocket. So I think that's what I want to do. And so I think, just trying to think of the best way to do it. I think what I'm actually going to do is leave this on here so it's just a little bit supporting it. And I'm going to attach these flaps to the bag and then glue the bag onto it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Faffing a little bit, aren't I? But then I think if you follow me, you wouldn't expect anything less, to be honest. It's because I'm not quite sure how to attach it, so I'm just kind of trying to think on my feet a little bit. Shall I cut those off? Because that's going to flap up. I don't want to see them, do I? So I'm just going to cut that off up to that fold line. And get rid. And the same on that side. Because we don't want to see it on the front, do we? And then if I fold that back up, that will be that pocket. And I think that would be, I've got two pockets then, haven't I? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this to the bag. And that's at the back, so that can be glued. I don't want to glue low down because that's a pocket that goes all the way down to the bottom. And then I need to glue that on there. Now I don't have an awful lot of luck very often with Glassine bags. And somewhere I have got some double-sided sellotape. And I think I will find my double-sided sellotape off camera, and I will put that page on there. So that's going to go on there. It's going to be two pockets, so it'll have one there and one there. I mean, I could do it so that it's a side pocket as well, but that might make it a little bit too, it might pull on it too much, so I'll think about that. But that is going to go on that page. And I will do something similar for the other one as well. So that's that page done. Then what do I want to do? I think what I wanted to do then on the back of that, because I'm going to decorate the fronts and the backs. I wonder if I find a paper clip and just put that on there. I just want to think a little while about how I attach that bag. That's why I'm hesitating. So I'm just going to put that on there for a minute to remind me that's where that's going. Okay. Actually, it might get in the way when I'm gluing, so I'm going to stick it in that pocket. So this is the back. This is the next bit that I want to do. Now in Andrea's kits, this was her, I'm sure it was vintage Christmas. She has these pockets, and what I think I want to do is have that on there, but have it as a flip, and then put a pocket here. So that's what my thoughts are for that. It is indeed. I'm just trying to think what I need to make a little hinge. Doesn't need to be a big hinge, it just needs to be a little hinge. Right, so I've tried to think about what I want to do before you join me, and what I'm thinking I want to do is add this there and then glue it on there so that that becomes a flip. So, because obviously, I mean, I could have it that way, but I've got nothing to attach the hinge to, and I don't want to put it this side, because if you remember, the right hand side's the bit that's going to have all the tabs on. So I'm going to put it on the left, and I'm just going to use this piece of paper that I had left over, and this is slightly thicker than just normal copy paper. I think this one is, it'll either be 100 or 120 GSM. So for a hinge, it's just that little bit stronger. And I just want to make it a little bit brown on the inside so it's not stark white. And that's going to go on there as a hinge. It's going to go on there. So I can take a little bit off that bit. And this comes with Andrea's vintage Christmas kit, and I've just lined it with music paper and folded my edges in, and I am just going to add that on there. So I'm going to put glue on the inside of this little hinge that I've made. Oopsie daisy, not into the little pocket. And I want to add that onto there. Like that. Okay. And I can probably close that pocket then. But I think I want to think about how I want to do this. So that will go like that, and it will hinge. Have I got the right way? Yep, it will hinge on there. Okay, just fold that a little bit closer up there. And I'm just going to ink that because I don't want to see that white. Yeah, I like that. So that's going to go there. But I want to put, I want to put a pocket here out of something. Sorry, let me bring my papers closer. I want to put a pocket on there. That might work. Don't want it doesn't need to be a very deep pocket, but that might well work. That says Toy Emporium, and I think it will. Let's cut that off, and then you'll see what I'm doing, hopefully. Everything's gone walkabout. Let me just find all my bits. One moment, folks. I'm sure there are little gremlins on my table, you know, that just come sometimes and just They just pinch things, they really do. Steal things out my way. Oops, don't lose that. And then this wants to be my pocket page, my pages are 6.5, so I want this to be a little bit shorter than 6.5, just because I want it to fit nicely on the page. Let's see if that fits. Oh, I was going to say, did anybody see where I put my page? So I want that to fit on there. I think I want to take just a snip off it, because I don't want it to overhang. So I'm just going to take a tiny snip. Oh, it's right in front of me. Off it. And that's going to go on there and be a tuck spot in there, so that a journal card will just fit there where it says Toy Emporium. But I want to attach this to it, so I am going to put that hinge in there. I'm going to have it at the bottom, so I'm going to sandwich this bit of the hinge in here, is what I'm thinking, like that. Sorry, can you see me? I'm going to hinge it in there like that. So to do that, I am just going to put a bit of glue on here. And fold that over. Let's see if that worked. The reason that I want to sandwich this hinge inside here like that is because if I put it straight on there, if you put something in the pocket, it bangs on that bit, and then you just can't use it very well as a pocket. So I think if I then put that on there, that will flip open and there'll be a pocket just there, and I'm happy with that. So I'm now going to close this. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue on here, if I can find my glue, and get that all nicely closed. And then that gives that a little bit of rigidity. Is that even a word? To the pocket, because it's going to be 2 layers thick. Squidge that down. I know you're not going to see that writing, but you are going to see the Toy Emporium. And that look will go like there, and that will flip out there. I'm just thinking if I want to put a closure on there, but let's think about this before I attach it. I wanted to decorate this. And to do that, I've got a couple of the Tim Holtzy people. I've got that little girl there that's going to be holding hands with her brother. I've got this that says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas," and I wanted to put that there so that they're going to stand on it like that. And then I wanted that to say December 25th on there. So if I was to put a grommety thing in, I can't put one on here, is what I'm trying to think. So I think I will just leave that loose, because I think by the time you've started using it, oh, I'm just wondering if it would go under there. It might, mightn't it? That might hold it. Right, I'm going to try it. That might actually work if I'm lucky. So if I was to put, maybe if I put it that side, where the little girl is, because she's lower down, isn't she? So the little boy's going there, the little girl's going there. It's no different really, is it? Faffing, aren't I? Faffing. I'm going to put this on the bottom first. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Okay, I wanted her to stand on there, and I want them to hold hands, or for her at least. He's shouting at me yet, folks? And he can stand on there as well. I might do them like that actually. Ah, that's better. So I'm going to do those little people together. So I want to just glue them together a minute. Does anybody else faff this much? And put a little bit of glue to stick that dog on there. Oh, there's a little hole there that I've not punched out, look. Not doing very well gluing them two together, am I? There we go. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And then that will go like that. Or that will go like that. I think I'm going to put it like that because it can tuck behind her that little bit more. So I'm going to glue, I'm going to leave that corner open. It's on now. Oops. Now that will tuck behind it, won't it? It's on anyway, so that's where it's that's where it's going. And then Christmas Day. Yep, I think that works. Let's get these little people. Sorry, folks, that took. Oh, I dread to think how long that took. Way too long, didn't it? I'm hoping to be able to crack on with this because there's one more Christmas journal that I want to have a go at, and my concern is it's not going to finish in time to get anywhere for Christmas. So I don't know if people like to use late Christmas journals or have a Christmas journal to use for next year. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Okay, that's on there. It's on, folks. And then that will flip like that. Do I need to take a little bit more off? I might do. Just want it to go on there like that, so it flips out like that. Yep. Okay, so let's glue the top. Oops, that's a lot of glue, isn't it? Glue the top. I think my spout on my glue's sealed up the bottom and down the back. And it's just a little pocket that's going on there. So that's just glued across, down and on, so it's a pocket. I'm not going to mess with it until it's dried, but I need to then seal this up as well. So I hope this has made sense to you, how I've made this. And the reason I'm saying that is I've got a lot of people joining me who are new to journaling, making junk journals, and I think that's why I kind of talk through what I'm doing. I'm not trying to teach you to do something that you already know. If you know how to do it, you know, that's brilliant. But a lot of people are new, and when I started making journals, I so appreciated people talking through what they were doing. And kind of, I feel a bit daft talking to myself on on a video if there's nobody, if I think you're not there. So that will fit under there, and that will hold that shut, and that will flip out, and then we've got that there. So that's those two decorated. That's going to go on there somehow. I'll figure that out. I'm still thinking double-sided tape might be the way to go. I'm just wondering whether to put some washi or something up there, or fold it, or stick that bit down. I don't know. So that's 1, 2 done. Now the next thing that's going on, the next pocket, is going to be the envelope. So that's what's next to that. So you'll see that bit will flap out, and it's got this envelope. And on the back of the envelope, I've put a lace pocket that I've stitched in, and I've just put that in there to remind myself I need to make a tag to go in there. And I thought that looked quite green, and I thought what I would like to do is put a pocket on here. So I was going to start it, or at least I did start it, and then I thought you might like to see what I'm thinking of how to do it. So I'll bring you along with me. So I've looked at the kit pages, and I think this again is from the Vintage Christmas, and I've cut it. This is 6.5 inches tall, so I've made this 7.5 because I want to put some flaps on it, and you'll see why in a minute. So I've made it 1 inch bigger than how I want it. I've folded, it's just the width of the kit page, and I've made it 7.5. That's what I've done. I've folded a bit over because I want to reinforce, because that's going to be a pocket, and I want to put a pocket on here that can be a tuck. You can have a pocket just there, but bear in mind that I still want to leave a gap here, because this is going to have tabs attached to it, and I think this is going to have 3 tabs attached to it. So I don't want this to go all the way to the edge, because I want this to be a pocket as well. And if I make that a pocket that flips, it won't work with the tags on. So I want to leave a little bit there. I want to leave a little bit here so that it can be a tuck spot. And I want to leave a little bit there so that I can put my tabs on. Okay, so that's what I want to do. But I want this to be a tall, thin pocket. So I'm going to fold it back on itself, and I'm not quite going up to the edge of the envelope, although I could have gone further. Too late now, I've folded it. I could have gone further, but that will be a tall, thin pocket. Do I want it to go further? You're going to see that crease then though, aren't you, that I've just made? Or are you? Oh, it's not bad actually. Let me think about this. So if that goes there, if this goes there, can't quite see. I'm going to fold it there. That's what I'm going to do. I've done it. No, you can't see that crease there. That's fine. So, and then this bit will be a hinge on the back. Yes, it will. Right, so I'm going to put the folds in so that it will fit the page, and then we'll see where we've got to. I've not done one like this before, which is why it's making me stop and think. So I know that I've left enough for a 1/2 inch fold. And again, I don't want it to be all the way. I'm just making a little mark with my nail there. And I'm going to make another fold just there. Okay. So let me think what we've got. This is the bit that's going to fold over. So let's snip these bits off. I don't need that bit. So I don't need that bit, and I'm not going to need it down at this bottom either. So I can fold that back to strengthen that pocket. Right, let's do that. Let's do it as we go. Right, so that is going to be the pocket. So I want to hinge the pocket. So I want to keep this tab and that tab at the bottom. So let's just cut top and bottom. So those I want to keep because they are going to fold in. And that's going to be the pocket there. Okay. And then this is going to be a tall pocket. So I want to get rid of those little bits. And I'm also going to cut them at the back. Trying to think as I'm doing this. I'm giving myself time to think, folks. Let's get rid of those. So that's the pocket. These two are going to be the tall thin pocket. I'll fold those over. So I'm going to glue those down and strengthen that because that's going to be the tall thin pocket. You know, if this works, I'll have to make another one quick. So that's going there and that's going there. So now we've got a pocket there and we've got a tall thin pocket here. Just fold that down a little bit because I don't want it sticking out over that pocket. That's better. And then I will have to close the bottom of that if it's going to be a pocket, won't I? So I only need one of those. I'm going to cut this front one off. Sorry, flipping it all around. It's the best place, which is the best way to cut it. So cut that one off. That will close. And then I want this back piece to be the hinge on the back. So I'm going to cut that and that. I don't need it as big as that. How will that work? I can't imagine. Sorry, folks, my brain's just stopped working. If that's like that, that's going to flip out. It's going to be a tuck spot there. It's going to be a pocket there. So I think I want that to close on there, so that will be a, yes I do, but I don't need that much, so I'm going to cut some of that off, and I'm going to reattach this. Well, let's close this pocket first, so that's going to go there. So this is going to be the pocket. Yeah. So I'm going to put glue at the bottom. It's like origami, isn't it? That's going at the bottom. And that's going down there. I can just see that that's peeking out below there, so just refold that. Okay. So we have got, if it's glued, this is a long tall pocket, and I can put a little divot, a little notch in there to show that that's the pocket. So that's a pocket just there, and then that will flip out, and this will be a tuck on that pocket. So I think I want to put that on there, just so that it's got a little bit of a flap. Yeah, because it just makes the pocket that little bit easier to get something into if it's got a hinge, I think, if it's got a hinge all the way around. So I'm going to put that, and you're not going to see this bit anyway, but that's going to go on there. And it's going to go on there, and I think that works really well. So I am happy with that. That's going to come on the outside. So glue on here. Gosh, I feel exhausted. My brain's been on overdrive. Oops, oops. Glue down there. Glue on there. And then I wanted it about there, so I can put 3 hinges on there when we come to hinge it. I suppose I should have put a little divot here as well, shouldn't I? Where's the centre? About there. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got. Did that make sense to anybody, or have I just completely confused everybody? So that's going to close as an envelope, so it's going to be like that. It's going to go next to here, and they're all going to have tabs on them. So this is going to be the envelope, so you open the envelope up. I might have enough room to put a little tab on there. That's going to open up, and it's a tuck, it's a pocket there, so that will open, and then you've got a tuck spot there, and then you can see all of this as well. And that's closed, isn't it? Because I closed it. Yes, because I put the hinge down it. So that's another one done, and I will make something to go inside the pocket as well. So I think that I can close this pocket now. I think I can close this envelope. Just thinking if I need to do anything else, because once I've sealed it, it's so much harder to add anything or do anything else to it. And I think that will do. That'll do. Glue too far up, that's okay. There we go. So out of, I've got 8, I'll call them pages in here. So that's 3 that I've done. and it is getting more and more complicated for me as I go. So there we go, that spreads out. Made a pocket, got a pocket, I've got the envelope here, glue that down, that will close, and when we turn it over we've got a pocket on the back. So that's where I'm at. I hope it makes sense. I hope you can see what I'm doing. The other one I'm going to do exactly the same with now before I forget. I will attach that and I will think about the best way to do it. I think it's going to be 2 pockets. I don't think I'm going to have it as a pocket there, although I might. Who knows. And then we turn that over, that flips out, we've got a little pocket there, and we've got that flips out, and we've got a pocket, 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 and that flips over. Okay, brilliant. So I hope you like it. I don't know how many more videos I'll do. I might just come back and show you hinging these together, because a few people have asked. I have got a playlist where I've done that before, of tab journals, but I'll see how I go. But the next that you see may well just be a flip through. Depends what time I've got. So thanks so much for joining me, folks. I hope you like it, and I'll catch you later. Bye.